everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting an alternative Cadian Shock Troops scheme. Yes, today we are painting something that is similar to the Harakoni Warhawks. That's what we're going to be doing. It's a nice black and tan scheme, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. This is part of the Cadia Stands army set that Games Workshop sent to me early, so thank you to them for that. And they've been primed in Wraithbone. And we're going to jump right in and we're going to start painting them now. They've been primed in Wraithbone, and the color we're going to be using first is Black Legion. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this Black Legion and we're going to be painting it all over all of our guys' clothes as well as the boots, excluding that little bit of kind of leather wrap that they have around the shin. Just like this. So with that Black Legion all applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Aggaros Dunes. I'm going to apply this over the top of all of our guardsman's armour, as well as the casing of his las rifle. And with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Cygor Brown. I'm going to apply this over the top of all of our leather details. So we've got those wraps on his legs. Got all of his belts and straps and his backpack. So with all that Cygor Brown applied, we're then going to take some Ratling Grime. I'm going to apply this over the top of the sleeping rolls. And with that done, we're then going to take some Guilliman Flesh. I'm going to apply this over the top of our guardsman's skin. And with that Guilliman Flesh applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over pretty much all of our remaining details. The only thing we're not going to apply this over the top of is the little wrap on the little combat knife that he's carrying on his belt. It's going to be a different colour. So with that done, you should have some guardsmen that are looking somewhat like this. They're looking pretty cool. However, what we're going to do now is we're going to add some shades. And I haven't forgotten about doing that little handle. Actually, I have, but we're going to do that after this. So, the colour we're going to be using to add the shade is Nuln Oil. And we're just going to be applying this over the top of all of our silver. just like that. Nice and simple. Just like this. So with that Nuln Oil applied, we are now going to take some Flesh Tearers Red. We're going to apply this over the top of the little dagger wrap. So with that done, our guardsmen are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. They're already looking pretty cool. However, we're not going to leave them there. No, what we're going to do is we're going to take them to the next level, and we're going to be doing this by adding an optional shade, some layers, and some highlights. Now the optional shade is going to be Fyreslayer Flesh, and we're going to be applying this over the top of the tan armor. Now the reason this is optional is this is going to completely change how these guys look, and then we are going to be doing a layer afterwards to give it this really nice kind of cold, almost kind of deserty style, and you'll see what I mean. However, if you like it like this, you could just leave it there and then highlight it with the same highlight color that we're going to be doing in a little short while. So the color we're going to be using for that optional shade, as mentioned, is Fyreslayer Flesh, and we're going to be applying this over the top of all of the Aggaros Dunes areas that we've got on the model. Now this is going to make it kind of turn into almost like an ochre, a real kind of reddy brown, as you can see just there. We have a very similar scheme for painting things like the Tau Sept on the Fire Warriors and things like that. So you've already seen very similar things here. However, we're not going to be leaving it this dark red as mentioned. So I'm just going to get this over the top, and then once that's done, we're going to come back. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Zandri Dust, and we're going to use this to relayer all of our tan, all of our armor, and we're going to be trying to avoid all of our recesses, and we just want to get this over the flats of all of the panels. And then what this is going to do is it's going to provide a really nice kind of warm brown shading, but also it's going to make our Zandri Dust just appear that little bit colder than it already does. Like that. So with that done, you should have some pretty ace looking guardsmen now. I really like that kind of deep, dark, reddy shading across that Zandri Dust layer. I just think it looks really, really cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to highlight them, and the color we're going to be using for that is Ushabti Bone. I'm just going to take some of this on our brush. I'm just going to start picking out all the edges. And as previously mentioned, if you didn't do that optional shading, you will just use the Ushabti Bone now. So with that Ushabti Bone applied, our tan armor is now finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on now. I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting on this individual. So the color we're going to be using next is Dawnstone. I'm going to be using this to highlight all of our black details. Just picking out all of our edges. Just like this. So with all of that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker and we're going to use this to highlight all the silver. So with that Ironbreaker applied, as you can see, the only thing left to do is the faces and the hands, and the colour we're going to be using to highlight these is Flayed One Flesh. And with that done, we're then going to take a teeny amount of Black Legion. I'm going to apply this over the top of the eyeballs. And so with that Black Legion applied, we're then just going to take a teeny tiny dot of Screaming Skull. I'm going to apply this in the corners of each of the eyes. And finally, just to finish off our guardsmen, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Corax White. I'm going to use this to paint in the sergeant's markings on the shoulder just here. And so with their bases complete in the same style as the rest of the Cadian models that we've done so far on the channel, our Harakoni Warhawks are now finished. And I really wanted to do this, and I got another one that I'm going to be doing very soon, but I really wanted to do this to kind of just see how simple or how complicated you can make these new kits, because often with the new kits they are super detailed, and while that is true of the new Cadians, they are still quite simple. They still retain that kind of real nice simplicity that the original Cadian Shock Troops do. Really loved this, really liked it. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you want to support me further like these legends and bosses on the screen before you, you can do so. Head to patreon.com/warhipster or head to ko-fi.com/warhipster. Alternatively, you could become a YouTube member by heading to the channel page and clicking on the join button just here, just like these amazing, wonderful people have done. And if you really like this video or you just want to shoot me some support, you can click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.